Hello, happy new year, and welcome to the Growth with Greg blog. I'm so happy that you guys are all here, and I'm so excited to bring you what the new year has for me and for you in store. Hopefully I can be on this like I want to and be as consistent as I plan to, but I know that's one thing I struggle with, so who knows? This might be my first and last blog post. One thing I want to do with this blog is, bring you guys some great information in terms of working out, workouts, nutrition, of course, but also just things in how you approach working out and mindset and things just going on in, the everyday world that we can probably just be more mindful of and, take an approach to or just think about differently so we can not only, approach our workouts with a more open mind, but also approach our life. Alright, so yeah, one thing I wanted to highlight on this blog is just, different things that I go about throughout the day, where I'm at also in my personal development in terms of working out in life. And actually one thing that I skipped to actually start off the new year is I started my new year off with a yoga class at the Groove Chicago LLC on the north side of Chicago. I could put a post or link somewhere around here. I don't know how to do all that yet, but yeah, that was a great way to start my year off, getting my mind situated, my body right. And I feel like just one of the greatest ways, to actually start the year off for myself and just in general, I'm not so excited about is I have to go to the doctor because I sprained my thumb last month, and we'll see how that goes. I think it's a sprain, but it's still been giving me shit, so yeah, we'll see how that goes. Alright, so good news, I just left the doc's office, and he's like, hey, it's probably just a pretty bad sprain or strain, and he's like, you don't even need to wrap it up. My thumb, of course. So you don't need to wrap it up. You should be fine, but just take it easy and try not to put it into any compromising positions or whatever. And I was like, all right. Well, hey guys. So one of the things I wanted to talk to you guys about on the blog is like things I like to practice in my daily life that feel like allow me to be more successful and productive and just feel more full. And one thing is like meditation, because I feel like it's allowed me to be more aware and pretty much every other situation in my life, especially while I'm driving, because driving gives me so much frustration. One thing I've learned to realize, especially over the past years, people drive with so much more rush. Like, people aren't always in a rush, but yet they're so much more distracted. So what you see is, you see people driving at their own pace, cutting people off, running up to a stop sign, and trying to be the first one to take off. But then you also see people at a red light, and then it turns green, and you see them sitting there for another 8-10 seconds, realizing they're lost in their phone and just looking down at their lap. So it's like you see this such contradictory behavior at the same time. Like you might get this person that'll pull up next to you trying to speed off at the light, but they'll get stuck behind looking at their phone and then honk at you because you're ahead of them. Like, what? One thing that I had thought about was in my first yoga class of the year at the Groove with Gabby, she made us write something down that we wanted to practice for this year before our session. And one thing I wanted to practice was being more present in every experience. And I'm taking that like very seriously. So even to start the year off, in terms of my training, I'm doing very lightweight or no weight, so I can focus more so on my muscles, my breathing, just being more in tune with my body, and realizing that, yeah, those little aches and pains that I was just ignoring and not dealing with. And I realized after just doing a couple of different exercises here and there how much better I felt. But how many other things in our life are we just ignoring like that because it's small in the moment, but it could be a nuisance in the big picture, and it's just something that maybe bugs you small every day that you ignore. But if you just got it taken care of, you wouldn't have to deal with it. What's up? On the road, gonna go get me a cup of joe and some empanadas before work. Yeah, I still drink a little coffee here and there. I know sometimes I give coffee some crap, for the sake of, sometimes we use it as a crutch, so I usually try to avoid coffee like first thing in the morning. Unless I'm going to have like a longer cardio workout, maybe I'll have some coffee. Or depending on how I feel, but I definitely try to avoid it first thing in the morning because I don't want to develop that crutch or, giving that shock to my nervous system that early. But, some days you're listening to your body, you just know what it needs. And I was like, today, you know what? I think I need some coffee. And actually where I wanted to get started about just listening to your body. And I know I'm probably gonna get, like a broken record with this, but meditation has helped me, so much just in terms of listening to my body and in my environment. So, when I feel like when you take that time to, sit down and practice stillness, like you get to understand things that happen around you more, like whether that hunger craving is due to your hunger, or maybe you're feeling an emotion and that emotion triggers you to want to eat. Like what? Like things like that, become that much more understandable when you take those moments of stillness. And initially, meditation wasn't, I don't know, I feel like easy for me. I feel like it still isn't easy. It's easier because I'm just a person that always wants to go and do something and move. So taking those moments of stillness were like kind of a pain in the ass. It was like being punished, and you know exactly when the punishment was going to be over. You're like, okay, so this meditation will be over in 25 minutes. All right, I just need to stay here for 25 minutes, and it's just 25 minutes of, all right, 24 minutes, 23 minutes, but then it became trying to understand that stillness and like, oh, there's these thoughts that are going through my mind. I'm feeling these different aches and pains. I'm feeling these different hunger cravings or other cravings, and just understanding that, being more conscious of it and understanding where it's coming from, or whether it's something you need to be acknowledged, or just let it be a thought that passes. And hey, and I know now better, probably more than ever, that this cup of joe is gonna do me good. Or maybe I'm just trying to justify it, but hey, give a little bit of meditation a try. Don't forget hitting your weights and doing your other shit too, like eating right. Peace. I know you're wondering, before you even ask, where's the coffee coming from? Of course, I gotta hit up Cafe Tola for that horchata latte, because that shit slaps. And those empanadas all day. All day. Alright, so in the spirit of this month and me focusing on body weight and lightweight exercises, I'm gonna be hitting the TRX today. Hitting my suspension trainer. Made a little quick workout, so we'll see how that works out. Check this bad boy. Yeah, I don't know if you can read my chicken scratch, but we'll see how I feel afterwards. I'm gonna get a little bit of biceps, some back, some core. But at the end of the day, it's just if I survive. Yo, that workout, comfortable maybe? Nah, kick my ass. I'll definitely post it on my Instagram, but yeah, definitely get a suspension trainer. Just wrapped up a nice little meditation, and of course it got me thinking. I'm kind of a big believer in the idea of how you do one thing is how you do everything. Especially when it comes to like things you do like subconsciously, like when you're sleeping, when you're breathing, things like that. So I was in the middle of this meditation and I was just thinking about my breath a little bit. And so it was like I was taking in all this breath. I didn't feel like my body was sitting all the way down. I was exhaling the breath. And made me think about like, alright, if this is how I do this, what else am I doing in my life in the same way? And it's like, do I sometimes feel like I just maybe fill up my plate too much? And I never like let go and can distribute it and ask other people for help? Yeah, I was like, I think that might be one application how it could apply for me as well. Oh, and then just the idea of my breath alone, just exhaling and sitting down, like in my body, like not just exhaling through my breath, but in my body. And I feel like, yeah, I'm constantly like on the go, and I feel like being a person who really likes to live an active lifestyle, finding those moments of stillness can be difficult. And if I focus on my breath, I think it made me realize it that much more, that as active as I am, I'm even that active in my own breath, that I don't take that moment to Yeah, so I know I've said like quite a bit of stuff so far, but I don't even know if I've actually said anything about the actual blog, or I've said like, hey, I'm gonna put a blog coming up, but the blog is up. growthwithgreg.com. Click the blog. I have a couple posts so far. Of course, there'll be more eventually, but it is up. As I'm brainstorming, I'm like, oh yeah, make sure I put a link there. And I'm like, did I even talk about that? Duh.